My name is Rhapsody. Welcome back to Slay the Spire. What we're going to be doing this episode, I believe, is starting to ascend whilst killing the heart. Now, the idea that I've had in general for this is that we will do Ascension 5 on rotation for characters, Ascension 10 on rotation, Ascension 15 on rotation, and then Ascension 20 on rotation. And the reason for that is because while I do want to increase the difficulty, I am possibly not yet prepared entirely to account for all of the worst things that the heart can do. So I want to have more time to learn more about them, and I don't want to do that off camera, right? I'll do a little bit of learning eventually off camera, but while it's still relatively new, I would really prefer to keep most of my runs on camera for learning about it. And over the course of those, hopefully, I'll become better at fighting the heart to the point that I can get through an Ascension 20 win with each of the different characters against the hearts. So, we actually had Ironclad last episode. I'm probably just going to rotate characters every single episode, and then if a character has completed on Ascension 5, they'll do it on Ascension 10, right? So it might go Silent Ascension 5, Defect Ascension 10, Ironclad Ascension 15, Silent Ascension 10, that kind of thing in rotation. All of them having the end goal of beating the Corrupt Heart. If they don't do that, then they haven't completed the Ascension as far as I'm concerned. Silent time. Yeah, let's start with my worst. Random Common Relic is probably the one out of these that I want to get the most. Just because the variance of that random boss relic possibly instantly killing us. Let's have a look at our map. There is a 4 elite path, but gosh, we're going to have a really early Predator and Dash before I'm comfortable doing that. I mean, sure, Tiny Chest, gain 30 gold on pickup. You're 10% more likely to find treasure in question mark rooms. I mean, if I'm ever going to get that, I probably do want to get that as early as possible. And if I start here and then veer to the left, I have the opportunity to choose whether or not I want to go and... Actually, just going to full defend this time. Whether or not I want to go and start fighting elites or not. Not a huge fan of the fact that they don't seem to be doing anything but attacking. Yeah, they have to not attack this turn because they've attacked 2 turns in a row. They are not mechanically capable of using the exact same move 3 turns in a row. Piercing Whale, Dagger Spray, and Deflect. I probably don't want to pick up Piercing Whale or Deflect yet. We're going to be fighting 4 elites this floor, ideally, which means that we're going to end up in a lot of situations where the Gremlin Knob is going to strengthen off of our Deflect. Piercing Whale is going to be completely negated by the artifacting across the board on the Sentries fight. So we'll take the Dagger Spray. Also helps with some AoE that we don't yet have. I can't take a Curse of Doubt, especially if I intend on killing any. Damn it! Well, here's where I would have been removing the Curse of Doubt. We just have money. Alright. Well, I'm committing myself to fight at least 1 elite, and I still don't have any pickups. Thankfully, we're only on Ascension 5, so the elites aren't tankier, and they don't have, the overhauled attack patterns. Another thing that it's important for me to gradually ascend. Obviously, I don't want to do 20 ascensions again with each and every character, but it's important for me to gradually ascend as well because what you can get away with in each ascension is so vastly different. I'm not going to be hunting 4 elites on the first floor in Ascension 20 often. 1,000 cuts. Easy. All right, well, now we have a damage engine. I'd love to play 1,000 cuts this turn, but I don't want to take that damage. So it'd be 1,000 cuts, Survivor, Neutralize. Which means that I can deal 5 damage to a single target, as well as reduce 2 damage incoming. It's not enough. Just not enough. Unfortunately, we're going to be copying 2 here. That regen potion is going to be particularly effective considering our overall strategy. Can you do a debuff, please? Ugh. 5 pretty much non-negotiable damage in that combat. Flying knee, deflect, concentrate. Deflect is probably a good idea so that I can guarantee that I play as many cards as I possibly can in a turn with the 1,000 cuts. The first thing that needs to be upgraded is definitely 1,000 cuts. It's twice as effective when upgraded. Not that many things become twice as effective. Press the button, press the button. Ooh, woohoo! Question card. Future card reward screens have 1 additional card from which to choose. Hell yeah. Cool. I mean, if I had any... Oh, damn. If I'm going to have any fight that is going to have the buffed enemies, I'm going to want it to be this one because I'm kind of prepared for it. I'd love to dagger spray, but I'm probably better off defending. Cop 6 damage or not? No. No, I should take the damage. I don't think... Alright, this turn I kind of just want to trip defend. Because it's still, 6 damage AoE. So 18 total damage to the enemies. So I can deal 8 and 8, so I can't actually kill that sentry in the front line. Oh, sorry, in the mid line. The one that I would have wanted to prevent the damage from. Just playing 3 cards this turn, yeah, will kill the frontliner. Looks like we are going to get the entire way through our regen potion, which makes it correct to have used it in this combat. Okay, not all the way, but close. Meat on the bone, if your HP is at or below 50% at the end of combat, heal for 12 HP, as well as the Emerald Key. Sucker Punch, Quick Slash, Outmaneuver, Bane. We are intending to put more zero-cost cards in this deck, so I could actually consider that Quick Slash. It's a little bit of damage. It'll help me hunt down more of the Elite Sys floor that I intend to go for. I already dodged 1 Elite, so I can go for a max of 3. Mercury Hourglass is way too much damage. I can't turn down the Sapphire Key for that. Sorry, I can't turn down it to take the Sapphire Key. At the start of your turn, deal 3 damage to all enemies. I mean, it works with what we're trying to do as well. Which is kind of unique. I'm obviously going to try and get 1,000 cuts out here before the Lagavulin wakes up. That's just not going to happen, unfortunately. Had to be in the bottom 3 cards of our deck, eh? Wow, and neutralize. So I only get 1 neutralize play for 2 shuffles. Ugh, that's really unfortunate. We don't need to go ultra aggressive here. Thank you for the neutralize. Extremely important. Saves 5 damage. Hell yeah, that's the right turn to get the ultra aggression going out. So usually this can be a problem because the Lagavulin is a big meanie and can make the Silent incapable of dealing any damage quite quickly, in fact. No, we're going to have harder fights later. I was wondering whether or not I use the Strength Potion in order to complete that fight that turn. But you can make, or rather the Silent can be made incapable of really dealing any damage in that combat, but the 1,000 cuts was always going to be helping us. Bronze Scale started combat with 3 Thorns. Well, now we've got 3 different things that synergize with a kind of more passive defensive build. So we'll be looking for things that we can use there. Dodge and Roll versus Backstab are the 2 that I'm definitely looking at right now. Backstab gives us a little bit of initial damage so that we can start working down targets early, right? So it would be better in, say, hallway fights, whereas 1,000 cuts would be better in a prolonged fight, so more of an elite or a boss fight. I do like always having like a couple of backstabs, because then you can just remove a target from the field with no energy on the first turn a lot of the time. Take it. Woo! Hell yeah! We got the potion belt upon pick up gain 2 potion slots. We could have fought another elite there, and then an elite, an elite. Because the boss at the end of this floor is the slime boss, I probably need my HP. I could go over to the... No, but AoE... I think I need to make a defensive pickup. I don't think these two relics are going to be the world's most important thing. I think getting a relic and then getting to a shop so I can take something like a leg sweep is going to be particularly powerful. Okay, one down. See, I can defend for 9, but then... I want to go down to 35 HP so that Meat on the Bone heals me for 12 at the end of this combat. So 35 HP means that from this position, I have 47 HP effectively. It means I need to take 12. The enemy is dealing 14. So I'll go down to 33. Am I guaranteed to be able to kill next turn? Pretty likely, actually. There's a dagger spray in there. Yeah. We ended up with more HP than we entered that fight with because we ended up deciding to take damage. That's not always a viable thing, but gosh, when it is, it is. I can take a dagger throw as a value card here, just so I can pass over a couple of these strikes. No, but that's going to tend the deck a little more aggressive than I want. I want it actually to be actively more defensive right now. Ugh. I have to play 1,000 cards. It's too important to not generate. If I take 10 damage this turn, in fact... I set myself up for just don't take any more damage for the rest of this fight and will heal at the end of the combat, which is nice. Which doesn't seem too unrealistic. Considering Bronze Scales, Mercury Hourglass, and the fact that we got that turn 1 generation of the 1,000 cards. When adding cards to your deck, you may gain 2 max HP instead, or you may raise your max HP by 2 instead. I think that may have been reworded recently because it is the good old friend, the Singing Bowl. Give me that Noxious Fumes as well. It's not going to be good in hallway fights, but in boss fights, that's going to be damn helpful. Ooh. Anchor is quite nice also. It gives us some time to set up our pars, which is really important for this deck. I kind of want to take that and Panacea, actually. Panacea being another 0-cost card, as well as giving us the capability of holding on to the buffs from things like speed potions. It's going to be particularly powerful. Unfortunately, it's really important that I upgrade Noxious Fumes, Backstab, Panacea, and Neutralize. So as a result, it's going to be a while before I pick up that Ruby Key. I'm kind of expecting to take a hit here. No, I'm going to split the enemy. I think with the amount of AoE that we have in the deck, splitting the enemy here is probably not as bad as it otherwise could be. Okay. Thank you, Panacea. All right, and that's all of the backline slimes dead. That seems to be going pretty damn well. Yeah. Good choice to split early there, I believe. Didn't perfect the fight, but it's not really what I'm aiming for at this point. Bullet Time Nightmare, Storm of Steel, die. Storm of Steel means that whatever your hand size is, you get to play that many cards in a turn. Since we're adding 0-cost cards to the deck, I don't think that that's a good choice just because it synergizes with 1,000 cards. Die provides some more AoE to the deck. The deck is already quite AoE heavy. Bullet Time is probably the only one here that I don't consider at all because I don't have any reason to hold on to it. I don't have particularly high-cost cards outside of the one that I play once and it's done. Nightmare is a consideration. It gives me the flexibility in a boss or an elite fight to skip a turn just to generate a bunch more Thousand Cuts or Noxious Fumes. Noxious Fumes especially can be quite potent with that. I could even just take the max HP and feel pretty good about that. Although I'll be taking the die, especially because of how AoE heavy the next floor is and how instantaneous we need to be with our damage. We need to front load that damage next floor. This sucks. I really need the extra energy, but neither of the other options are going to provide that to me, so I'm going to have to take Sozu. It does mean that the potion belt is never really going to be utilized to the fullest of its effect, but I do have a fairly good set of potions right now. I can just hold on to them until the Corrupted Heart, basically. I mean, at the Corrupted Heart, if I pop a Speed Potion for the 5 Dex and a Dex Potion for the extra 2, Speed Potion would stay because of the Panacea, remember? Then I'm going to be in a position where I've got 7 Dex in the final combat. As long as I draw, like, a couple defensive cards every turn, I'm fine. And I intend to draft almost purely defensive past this point. So the real question now is how many elites do I want to fight? And I actually really want to fight all of them. Okay, so that's 18 damage coming in. I actually don't want to put any of them on the ground if I can avoid it, because I really want them all to hit me and deal 18 damage to themselves. Run Scales is nice. Ancient Potion! That would be nice. Oh, well. We've got too much energy and too little draw to take that second deflect right now, so I think I take the HP. We do want to start picking up things like especially Backflip. Remove a strike. Huh. Unless I'm also playing Die this turn, I don't play Backstab. I probably just don't play Noxious Fumes. Yeah, the fight will be over too soon to play Noxious Fumes. And this way I'm fully defended as well as remove 2 charges of the enemy's plated armor. So 14. And by doing the attack at the very end there, we get to remove another 2 charges of the plated armor. Hell yeah. I feel pretty good about how we chose to play through that fight. Yeah. Ooh, upgraded deflect versus backflip. See, backflip is common, so is deflect. Deflect, rather. I don't even know if there's a consideration for Predator right now, not with this deck. Maybe there is. It's delayed draw. Thing is, I don't know if the single target direct damage that costs any energy, let me make that clarity, that costs any energy and is not necessarily front-loaded damage. Let me make that distinction so that backstab is not affected. I don't know if that has a place in the deck right now. Do need backflip, though. Do I want an upgrade or do I want 2 question marks? Remember the question marks on this floor include the possibility of giving me a Necronomicon, which would instantly make Predator and Dash particularly powerful. An Enchiridion, which is pretty much always good for the silent. What else? The Colosseum event, I don't know if we would go particularly poorly at because of the amount of AoE that we have in the deck. And we've also got the 10% greater likelihood to find treasure in question mark rooms. I'm going to avoid it, but I'm not too happy with that. Obtain a special relic. The special relic being Warped Tongs. At the start of your turn, upgrade a random card in your hand for the rest of combat. It's pretty extraordinarily powerful. Quite like it. Alright, we'll start out with a quick slash because we're always playing that. Fair enough. Forward backflip. Yeah, I don't particularly enjoy how that went down. We got a free turn, but we didn't have the ability to really play any of the things that we would have wanted to generate on a free turn. And Pain also dealt 4 damage to us. We do need to remove Pain from the deck, like, absolutely as soon as it's humanly possible. I don't know if this fight is going to go long enough for Noxious Fumes to be significantly better than just attacking. I can't consider using the speed potion this early, not when I can keep it. It has such greater utility later. I'm gonna try and play as many things as I can here first before I quick slash. Nice. Because I just didn't want to draw... I don't remember the name of it right now. If Blade Dance was upgraded, I'd probably take it right now, but the fact that I have a Pain in the deck already, and the Blade Dance isn't upgraded, and it doesn't provide defense, and we don't have a Shuriken, and we don't have an Ornamental Fan, and we don't have a Kunai, I'm gonna take the max HP. Neutralize definitely needs to be upgraded. It always stays in this deck. It's 0 cost. It's like our only ability of weakening a target. So the negative effect is not a debuff. It's just going to put 2 dazed into our discard pile, which means that the Panacea is going to prevent the negative effect from the Spheric Guardian of trying to make us frail, which is quite nice. Feels like that front line is kind of just going to die without me really doing anything. Just because of the amount of AoE in the deck. That was supposed to be a quick slash on the back line. I don't really know how I misclicked that one. Taking 22 damage from this position is actually pretty good. So, 74. We need to lose 1 more HP. And then we'll heal by 12 at the end of this combat. Nice. Right. No, I need to lose 1 more. Losing 1 HP from this position isn't particularly easy. Yeah, I'm just going to have to kill you. We're going to have to lose 1 HP in a different combat. No. Not really interested in any of those. With the Warp Tongs, upgrades are less important. Sundial versus Sapphire Key. We are intending to include more draw in this deck, so I think the Sundial is still quite useful. But what's the average, like, energy expenditure that we have in a turn? Well, I guess if we have a bunch of draw, it can be higher. I'll take the Sapphire Key. I've also locked myself on a path to go for a bunch of elites now, by the way. Would I have elected to play the Noxious Fumes? So should I have Quick Slash first? I don't know if I would have played Noxious Fumes over the course of this combat. Unfortunately, we still do need to play absolutely every one of these attacks. The damage is really important. Sure, we're getting hit by Pain, but we need the damage on the enemy as well, so... Kind of just got to lump that one. Thankfully, we are going to be healing 12 at the end of combat, and that's one of the reasons that it's not going to be so dangerous to go this line. It's still pretty dangerous, don't get me wrong, but it could be worse. Wow. Thankfully, we only take 5 damage here because only the first hit connects before the... Ooh, Meat of the Bone gets it, and... Snecko Skull. Whenever you apply poison, apply 1 additional poison. That's really powerful. We need backflip. I'd love to take Catalyst, because it'd be a nice boss killer with the Noxious Fumes dealing 4 poison per turn, but we need backflip. Backflip is essential. We will... To the point that I believe that it is quite likely that we die without it. Alright, I'm resting here. I think even if I rest here, after the next combat, I'm pretty likely to have a low enough amount of HP that I... Nice. I'm pretty likely to have a low enough amount of HP that I still heal off the noxious, the meat of the bone. All right, we've got our AoE set up. Ooh, boy. No, that strike's probably not going to be as important as the 1 damage it's going to deal to me. Just because of the way that we deal damage to this Gremlin leader, like, they are going to have the increasing ramping damage with the poison. I think that a 6 damage strike plus 2 damage AoE from the 1,000 cuts is going to pale in comparison. Still think I played Die. Sad that I drew that turn, but it's fine. We have other ways to deal with AoE. It's not like we're exactly wanting. We're below half HP. The enemy is refusing to attack this turn. We've got it. Nice. Dreamcatcher, whenever you rest, you add a card to your deck, as well as Unload, Blade Dance, Dagger Throw, and Powered. If we intended to pick up more curses and things like that, we could start taking cards like Prepared to remove them from hand. I don't know about that, though. I'm gonna take the max HP. Who's our boss at the end of the floor? Okay, let's on. I kind of want to rest here, actually, just to activate Dreamcatcher to try and get a defensive card. Because we're not getting offered them. Like Leg Sweep, like Footworks, like After Image. Like, I want something along those lines. What's doing it? Footwork. Play the Quick Slash first. Always draw first. It's just a good habit to have. So what, we get 3 on the backline this turn and 3 at the start of the next turn, which means that, yeah, Die is lethal. That's exactly what I was going to point out. Quite pleased it came up naturally. We prevented ourselves from getting weakened twice there. We deal a ridiculous amount of damage at the start of an enemy's turn. 4 stacked poison, 3 from Mercury Hourglass, 2 per card I play over the course of that turn. And in addition to that, however many hits they took from my Thorns in the previous attack phase, so it gets pretty wild. Choke would theoretically work in this deck, but it wouldn't deal as much damage as Choke would cost to put in my deck. I wonder if I take Endless Agony, it would give me the ability to take Hovering Kite after the next boss fight if I wanted to. I think for that reasoning, I'm taking it. Also, it's not bad, right? Especially if it comes after my 1,000 cuts. Oh, obviously, Footwork needs the upgrade. I haven't seen a single copy of Caltrops so far, which is why I haven't taken it. Every single time I even think about the Silent... Every single time I even think about the Silent in a way related to the Corrupted Heart, the immediate thing is, oh, have you considered Caltrops? Yeah, I drafted it last time. Like, yeah, it's a good idea. That's why I did it. Okay, 1,000 Cuts is almost certainly about to be stolen from my deck. It'll be the first thing stolen, then probably Noxious Fumes or Panacea. So the first, since they act front to back, I need to prioritize my damage on the orb in the front line. There's the 1,000 Cuts. There's Panacea. At the very least, we do get Noxious Fumes, which is nice. So, look, the frontliner had 13 HP left. Then they lost 3 when they attacked me. Then they lost 3 when the turn started, and then they lost 4 from the poison. It's pretty ridiculous. Do I want to play 1,000 Cuts this turn or not? I actually don't know if I need to. I may just keep this as a perfect fight so far. Well, I mean, I know that's what it is so far, but I might just keep it that way. I don't know how we're going to deal with the Hyper Beam. Poorly, I suspect. I mean, we're only 10 off a full block there. It's not bad. All right, with that hand, I can definitely generate 1,000 Cuts without too much concern. Now, it's unfortunate that this enemy started the fight with 3 artifacting on them, because otherwise they would already have just so many more problems with respect to their HP. I like that Neutralize keeps turning up in the right turns. I don't like that I keep needing it. We need that pain out of the deck. ASAP Rocky. Let's go. Woo! That sucks that I had to miss that. Corpse Explosion's more AoE. This deck already has that. Malaise, the Corrupt Heart has an ability to counter the removal of strength. So Malaise doesn't even last that long. After Image completely counters the Beat of Death ability of the heart. So for primarily that reason, we'll be taking After Image. Also, we play many cards in a single turn, ideally, so... Speaking of playing many cards in a single turn, ideally, we can't take the Velvet Choker. We are definitely going to be fighting a couple of elites next floor. Is that true? I'd probably die to the Giant Head. That fight in particular shows that it's very likely I would die to the Giant Head, so I don't know if I would be able to take this Black Star, actually. I know that I fight an elite on the final act, right? Directly before the heart. It's actually a rough consideration. I'm thinking about the tiny house pretty closely, actually, right now. Taking it. Expertise is theoretically quite useful in this deck. I think because we haven't removed enough of our base cards, it's useful, but it wouldn't be significantly better than a backflip, sorry. It wouldn't be consistently more useful than it, rather. Yeah. This line gives me an early shot, which I'm particularly interested in getting. Don't trash my deck, damn it! Pain! Please be removed! Yeah, that'll get it done. Upgraded leg sweep. It's exactly what I've been asking for this entire time. Happy Flower versus Sapphire Key. Happy Flower is really good. Damn it. We've got at least one more chest available, so we know that we still have another option, but... I don't know. Starting to feel unlikely. I don't want to use the backflip here because the possibility that I end up drawing into the exact card that I want to play, which is the 1,000 Cuts, and not being able to play it because I don't have the energy is just a mortifying possibility. Hell yeah, get that full defense. Obviously, this isn't ideal for anyone, but the fact that I generated a block for every HP I lost there actually meant that I was neutral by playing, despite the fact that I had the negative effects. So 1,000 cuts plus die has 9 AoE, and then 10 AoE after with the dagger spray. So, what, 19, 10, 29 total. 39. I wouldn't be able to kill the Darkling, but I would the Darkling in the center, but I would kill everyone else. I mean, his hand has no defense. I don't know why I'm considering, oh, okay, what's my most defensive play instead? There isn't one. Both Dodge and Roll and Noxious Fumes have a really viable place here. The second Noxious Fumes is actually a little less impressive than the first one because when they stack, they are going to deal 6 poison to all enemies, and then that application of 6 poison is increased by 1 by the Snecko Skull. So it's not each of them gets 4, it's both of them combined get 1 extra. I need the defense. It's just too much. Okay. Ooh. The ability to remove status cards from our deck, in this deck in particular, is quite powerful. In fact, there's a lot of things here that I desperately want. Obviously, I desperately want the medical kit, because the heart actually trashes your deck with voids and dazed. Both of those are ethereal, so they exhaust themselves. I don't have to worry. But burns, wounds, and... burn, wound... It does 5, doesn't it? It does 5 status effects at the same time. Burn, wounded. I can't remember the other one that it's inflicting at the time, but we'll be able to remove them. Yeah. And then Deep Breath is a shuffle of our deck, which is energy from Sundial, and at the worst, it is neutral in terms of its card draw. And then card removal to get the pain out of the deck because it's been overbearingly powerful. It's worth noting, I wouldn't have been able to buy all of those had I not taken the tiny house. We have 27 gold left. We would be 23 short on the ability to buy. Whether or not you can find that a convincing argument for what I decided to do, it's up to you. I know that front line's going to take the 3 when it hits me and then 3 at the start of the next turn, so I don't have to overcommit my damage. Shuffle those Endless Agonies back in. I can die. Frontliner is now dead. I can focus entirely on the backliner. Against Tomb, having a ridiculous amount of Endless Agonies in the deck is a really good idea. Liquid Bronze would be a nice card to add into this deck, but Backflip makes it. After Image definitely needs to be upgraded. Yeah. Deep Breath also needs to be upgraded, but we'll contest that when you get to it. That's one of the reasons you always use your draw effects first, so that if you draw something expensive you desperately want to play, hey, you can still play it, it's fine. That's a pretty solid defensive turn from a deck that really didn't have that much in the way of defense. Alright, so what I want to do here is Deep Break. It feels grammatically incorrect to say, I want to deep breath. So I usually say, I want to breathe deeply, or I want to breathe deep, or I want to take a deep breath, or something like that. It just feels weird. Like, I want to deflect, I want to defend, I want to backflip. Those make sense. With the extra energy, we should be able to play a lot of things we get from the backflip here. Unfortunately, we get a lot of things from the backflip that are garbo. sadly not the Greta kind. Alright, so that's 5 burns left in our deck now. I hate that I don't get to play the Noxious Fumes that turn. Really would have liked to. Okay. Good lord, you're putting a lot of burns into this deck. It's not long now until we draw a hand that's only that. 6 in there. I'm gonna reshuffle because I know that the rest of that deck was mostly burns. So I wanted to reshuffle my draw pile back in because my draw pile wasn't entirely burns, at least. Playing those burns is at least triggering all of our on-play effects, which is nice. Alright, and we're gonna heal 12 as we exit this fight, which is also quite nice. Frozen Egg, whenever you add a power card to your deck, upgrade it. Yeah, I definitely take the first offered Wraith form now. I think Catalyst is actually probably the pick. Even with only that one Noxious Fumes, it means that prolonged, and I mean prolonged, combats are much more handleable. That Piercing Whale also has a contest because of the elite fight on the next floor. Removes 2 charges of artifacting. Across, 1 from each. But outside of that, it's also quite effective. I think I'm going to take it, especially because the heart has the, 3x12 turn. And it will completely mitigate that. Okay. That's a pretty ridiculous amount of weaken to throw on an enemy there. One second while I go blow my nose. Excellent. And we're back. Yes, I'm likely to take a little bit of damage as a result of that. It's a lot of damage that I'm comfortable taking. I should have gone through and calculated that first. Yeah, this is the kind of thing that I was worried about. That's why I took the played the 1,000 cuts out that turn, because I felt like we were very likely going to end up in a turn where I had nothing in terms of defense and just kind of only had the 10 damage that was dealt by the 1,000 cuts. Yeah, that hurts. Deep breath there. Easy. Don't even have to kill the enemy. I think because that deflect is just a carrier for the 7 decks that I'm going to be putting out kind of regularly in the final fight. I think deflect still gets taken though. God. Come on! Come on! Damn it! All right, I have to take the Sapphire Key. There's no worrying. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that one. It just has to be that. I'll also take the Ruby Key here because I feel like we're probably more likely to need to rest directly before Donu Decker. I don't want a deck full of wounds, so I had to attack one of them there. I miscalculated the damage. I was certain the dagger in the front line was going to die. How else could I have handled this turn? Obviously, I could have played the strength potion. That would have resulted in both of the daggers being dead this turn. At this point, I can decide whether or not I let the run immediately lose or fix the miscalculation, which is doing that. If you would prefer that the run had lost, feel free to exit the video right now. It's totally fine. My name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire. If you would like to see the rest of the run, and I know that there are people who would, and who would feel cheated if I stopped there, then stick around. But recognize the other camp exists. No matter how you feel, the other camp also exists that would either like to see it stop or like to see it continue. I can't make both of them happy. I have to choose. I'd really like not to be flamed about it. I'll do exactly the same turn I did last time, which was that and then overcommitting on the backline, which is also a miscalculation. Probably should have killed the frontliner. And then I did dodge and roll, deflect, defend because I didn't want a leg sweep. Because I wanted the extra defense next turn. I think I was counting the 1,000 Cuts as one of my cards played this turn, but 1,000 Cuts obviously needs to be in play first. Alright. Obviously, a strategic thing like whether or not I use the dodge and roll on that turn, that's not something that it's fair to go back for. Straight up miscounting, though. Some people feel. Is. Okay. Footwork, backflip, survive, and neutralize. I'm safe. Ooh, I can even deflect and then actually get a slash out there instead. I flip again, see what we get. Alright. I actually probably wanted to go more hyper-aggressive that turn, so I probably should have played my attacks before I used Deep Breath. Ornamental Fan. Every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 4 block. Yeah, now this is an Ornamental Fan deck. Unfortunately, without the Shuriken. Catalyst versus Noxious Fumes versus Riddle with Holes. We can't afford Riddle with Holes. Doesn't do enough for our deck. Again, the malaise is countered by the end boss. I kind of want to take the second Noxious Fumes. It's going to be very helpful in the Donu Deca fight coming up. I elect not to play the Quick Slash there because I do want the extra defense for next turn, considering the possibility exists that they decide to do, 25 damage this turn. Even though they didn't decide to do that, you do have to play around the worst case circumstance, not the best. But also, I didn't want to draw into either Noxious Fumes or Footworks. And yes, I'm saying it that way intentionally. Good lord. Footwork and Noxious Fumes at the very bottom of the deck. Means I can't really afford to play this Deep Breath yet. So yes, it does have in play possible downsides. but gosh, they're limited. Right, there's your self buff. I just have to hope that you don't do the 25 this turn. I mean, that's 24. Easily blocked, though. I don't want the cards in the rest of the deck, so we'll deeply breathe first. See how quickly this poison's getting wildly out of control? It's getting wildly out of wing. Good thing I had that copy of Piercing Whale in the deck. Another deflect feels like too much, but I am drawing a lot. And I intend to pick up another draw card if I see it. Oddly Smooth Stone would obviously be incredible. Yes, I see the Cal drops, but... Does it beat card removal? It does. I mean, this is also my last opportunity to pick anything up. Do I want any of these more than I want another card in my deck? Not really. Ooh. I can heal to full HP here for free because of the Mori. Upgrade all cards you can no longer heal. Sounds like death to me. You're gonna have to fight a boss from Act 1. We're gonna have some difficulty with the amount of damage they decide to deal this turn, yeah, so that's 30. All right, 18 versus my 8 Thorns. Hell yeah, take that 40 damage right there. Still need to draw, so no deep breath for a while. Cool. I was worried I was going to draw footwork there, hence the draw before the play of the Noxious Fumes. I already have footwork out, don't I? Mm-hmm. Great work, Raps. Just galaxy brain plays right there. That'd actually be a really good name for a YouTube channel. Galaxy Brain Plays. I think I may have said that last time I said Galaxy Brain Plays. There's this weird experience you get hearing yourself say things that you've forgotten. Like, if I have to go back and edit, God forbid, but if I have to go back and edit an LP for any particular reason, oftentimes I'll hear myself, I'll hear like a setup for something that I would say, and then I'll think, oh, you should follow up with this joke, and then hear myself in real time follow up with that joke, and I'm like, oh, of course, your sense of humor is exactly mine. You are me. Ooh, ice cream's not bad. Sucker Punch, Dodge and Roll, Deadly Poison. Actually really want the Dodge and Roll. Why? Because I need a higher density of defense in my deck, and it will benefit from ridiculously in the next combat. Yeah, it's a non-compete. We need it. I actually don't think that this boss fight is going to pose any threat to us, so I want to upgrade that Deep Breath, because gosh knows it needs to be upgraded. That's an opening turn right there. Oof. Do I want to shuffle Piercing Whale back in, or do I want the Noxious Fumes to start incrementing earlier? The rest of our deck isn't particularly defensive. Still want the damage earlier, to be honest. Okay. Thank you for dazed. Ugh. 1,000 cuts is still in the deck. Means I can't play the deep breath. Dang, deep breath. In hallway fights, it's more playable because you don't always necessarily need all of the powers out, especially considering we diversified our win condition in terms of those powers. But still. Should have played the backlit before the defense there, by the way, so I would have had dodge and roll, so I would have had some block this turn already. That's just on me. Ah, damn. I should actually be manually playing those copies of Dazed because they will actually still benefit us. They're ethereal, but should we play them ourselves, we'll get a trigger of 1,000 cuts and after image as well. I just need to be defensive this turn, so I'll play all of the defensive cards out of my hand and then breathe deeply. Excellent. I mean, it looks good to me. All right, let's go to that heart now. I do guess this raises the question. Does this count as an Ascension 5 victory? I am going to treat it as such. That's the end of the discussion on that, frankly. There's still going to be an Ascension 10, Ascension 15, and Ascension 20 win if that's something that frustrates you. I do apologize for that, but remember, I can't make everyone happy. So, kind of just got to shrug as high as my shoulders can go on that one. There's nothing here I desperately want to upgrade, so I'm actually considering resting for 9 HP. And a card. 9 HP and a card. Okay, I know. Second copy of Piercing Whales actually could be really good. Sure. I'll take another Caltrops. I'm concerned that I need to remove the strikes from my deck now. They seem underwhelming in terms of power. Does the heart scale? Because if the heart doesn't scale, I just go long. I don't know if the heart scales. I'm removing the strike because I want the deck to be more consistently defensive, and to remove aggressive cards that don't exhaust is a way to get that. Okay, so we're going to be wanting to face the Spire Shield on the other side. Am I ever going to be attacking the Spire Spear this turn? No. So what? 18, 18, 14, 18, 14 is 32 total, so gonna have to kick in some extra defense. This sucks. I actually don't have the ability to change orientation here. Thankfully, I do have the Piercing Whales at least. I've got to use the lower power one first, and then the higher power one. That's a pretty nifty amount of defense, considering. Yeah, still have to be facing this way. I feel like we lose the boss fight if I don't have the Dex and Speed Potion for it, which is why I am being so careful to keep mine. But if we lose before it anyway... Yeah. 1, 2, 3... plus a bunch of draw. It's pretty likely I'm able to change the orientation of my character next turn if I need to. But I still want to weaken this Spire Spear because it's likely to deal more damage, and I'm already protected against even the extra damage that the Spire Shield in the backline can deal this turn. I was correct. I can actually save a bunch of energy for next turn, and that's probably a wise thing to do. So if I rotated my position, how much damage would it be dealing? %50 more damage, so 4 more per shot. We'll assume that weakness is applied before. So 4 more per shot means 14 by 4. 14 by 4 is... I'm wondering if I play all of these in leg sweep in the other direction. I don't think I do. So 4 by 9 is 36. Just play one more defend, I guess. Mm-hmm. Can you see the problem we suddenly have? Mm-mm. Oh, I can't redirect my character. This is mortifying. It's a whole lot of damage I didn't want to take there. See, on that other turn, I could have played a bunch of defenses and then turned around. Speaking of turning around, Bright Eyes, we've already got this. Whetstone upon pickup upgrade to random attacks, as well as Terror. I don't know if the enemy has a single purge in their entire deck, so Terror is actually like a significant increase of damage. Is it a significant increase of damage? We don't actually attack the enemy. I don't know that it is. I think I want the burst. Oh, obviously we'll take Whetstone. Okay. That's certainly a turn. There's the day slime. Right, but you can burn that yourself anyway. Unfortunately, I have to cop 15 damage this turn, and I haven't got my second Caltrops up yet. I'm gonna need the speed potion, is the thing, so... Game? I think I'm just dead because of the deck trashing plus drawing the Wound of the Void in this turn, specifically. You are kidding me, though. So you put 5 into my deck, and then I drew this. Yeah, I'm dead. I can't defend against that. So they put 5 statuses into our deck, and then we drew those 5 statuses. I could have had 5 more block with Speed Potion, but that wouldn't have saved me. I think in the long term, unless I had Panacea with the Speed Potion, I was just going to be dead. Speaking of dead, there we are, which means that the Silent does redo Ascension 5. So hey, hopefully that taps everything down. For the moment though, my name has been Rhapsody, the name of the game. It's been Slay the Spire. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time as the defect in Ascension 5 tries to kill the heart. Also, by the way, the Corrupted Heart had a different ability there. Instead of not being able to take more than 100 damage in a single instance, it can't take more than 300 damage in a single turn, which actually means that an infinite can no longer win. Enjoy! Bye-bye!